Yeah, that's
So we're
fine.
yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
this is
but
pre-show.
we can wait 5 minutes
Right. Well, this is just a
or
little
ish.
this is pre-show. You know, we're already live, and
Yeah.
this is kind of like to give people a chance to kind of shuffle in and take their seats and get comfortable. And although I do got to get the radio stream going. Um,
And, and hello, everybody. In case you're joining in early, since we've started early.
Cause I went on an adventure to visit every Walmart in no, not every Walmart, every Walgreens in the area. But well, not
At Walgreens.
and by every Walgreens in the area, I mean two.
Oh, we got
So,
an ad for Uber Eats.
oh boy, Uber Eats. They won't deliver to me because my credit card's not on file, but they won't let me add it because it's already on file.
Oh God.
I can't figure it out. Now, I have a regular standard Uber account, and my credit card is on file with Uber. But if I install the Uber Eats app or I try to sign into Uber Eats, it tells me I don't have a form of payment on file. And if I try to add my credit card, it says we can't add this. It's already on file. So I think I'm in some weird state of limbo with Uber and Uber Eats that both their systems are tied together, but not enough so that Uber Eats won't let me add a card because Uber already has it, but they won't let me use it because it's not associated with my Uber Eats account. I looked high and low. I could find no way to fix it, and I was in no mood to deal with a help desk because I absolutely hate customer support help desk people. Maybe that's my problem because I find that I have to live with a lot of self-loathing because I hate help desk customer service people. No, I kid.
No, that would be funny, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the thing is that that's not exactly what it is. I don't have self-loathing, but I do hold myself to really high standards, and so I also hold anyone else that works any job that's similar to mine to equally high standards, and that's
Sure.
how I justify being an asshole to people.
Sure.
You know your line.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're stuck with Uber Eats.
no,
You
I'm
can't
stuck
get a
with
card in
DoorDash.
there. Huh?
I use DoorDash. They're the only ones I'll use.
No, no. I mean, you're stuck with Uber Eats. You
I'm
can't
stuck.
use them because you're stuck,
I'm
right?
stuck. Yeah, I
What
can't
if you
fix it.
bought an Uber gift card
Well, I guess I could put a
and put
second.
it in your account?
I could put my other credit card on file with Uber Eats, but then I
Yeah.
wouldn't get my Amazon points through them.
Oh.
Really, what it comes down to is I have DoorDash, so I don't have much of an incentive to try to use Uber Eats.
Which outfit was delivering to the wrong place?
That was the other one. That was what's the other one? There's DoorDash, there's Uber Eats. Oh, Grubhub. Grubhub was the one that was delivering to the wrong
Oh yeah.
place.
Good going, Grubhub. You
Now,
change your address and you can't figure out that this is not a current address.
now, mind you, I was using Grubhub as far back as when I lived in Oakland.
Yeah.
Like Grubhub was a
And
thing.
that was the address they kept trying to deliver to.
No. They kept trying to deliver to my first Massachusetts address.
Oh.
So I
I
signed up for
see.
Grubhub in Oakland. I switched the account to Hayward. I switched the account to the first Massachusetts address. I switched the account to the second Massachusetts address. I would order food. It would put the pin on the map at the old address, but show in the text field the new address. But the driver's but the driver's app would give them directions to the old address, and all the drivers cared about was driving where the app told them to. And once the app said you're here, the driver left the food on the doorstep and their job was done. They didn't want to hear from me. And I, if I call them up and try to explain to them, look, you delivered to the wrong house, get the food back in the car and get over to the address that's actually written out, that conversation would eventually de-escalate into profanities being screamed back and forth. Um, And so I think that happened twice, and both
How
times
how far apart were those?
they were pretty close together because I immediately knew what was happening the second time.
And did did Grubhub make good on it?
No, well, yes, but no. They made good
Well, I
on
mean,
it.
by crediting your account.
They refunded me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They both times refunded me. One of the times, at least, we actually Kristen was like, "Let me go see if the food's on the door," and she went and picked up a bag of Wendy's from the door, and so we got refunded and we got the food. But there was no guarantee the food was going to be there because like we're like
Yeah.
arguing on the phone for 15 minutes, and it was kind of cold. So I don't feel bad about that refund at all. But what was really frustrating to me was that no one really understood the problem, and that's the thing is that I understand. Believe me, I have had plenty of calls from idiots that think they didn't make a mistake, that the most likely thing is they made a mistake, and I have responded not dismissively, but I have responded with, okay, first try this, and I do the questions and I do the ask, but I also keep an open mind because yeah, a lot of the times I'm right about that initial call, but sometimes I've got it wrong, and that's why I do my due diligence, and maybe there have been times where I've been caught by surprise where I insisted a little too much, and then I was humbled a bit by like, oh wow,
What
you were
really
actually
gets me
right.
is how many outfits don't have integrated systems. In other words, you change something at one place, and it doesn't come over until way later.
Well, I see.
So you could probably go into Grubhub now, and everything will be working okay.
Well, I made Grubhub delete my account, and
Well, yeah.
and I don't. But here's the thing. I told them I do not want any of my information in your system anymore. I want it completely deleted. And the person goes, oh yeah, yes, it's completely deleted. Are you sure it's complete? Yes, I'm sure. Of course, this is the same person that told me that it was my fault for not updating my address properly in their system. And they tried to instruct me how I could go in and put the right address in. Of course, if I went in and tried to put the right address in, the right address is already in. And I even already went in and cleared out the right address and put the right address in a second time and saved it. And it still didn't work when the next time they delivered wrong. So
Yeah.
I could not convince the person on the other end of the phone that there was really a serious problem in their database that someone higher up would need
Absolutely.
to fix. Because as far as they were concerned, I was some dumb shit end user that didn't know how to update their address. And it's like, no, I'm telling you, I'm right.
Yes.
You're
You know,
wrong.
it's always a bad idea to make it the customer's fault.
I mean, well, the thing is I'm sure these people have dealt with plenty of customers that didn't update their address properly. It happens. But the thing is that they should have access to look in the system, and they should see, look it, I'm telling you, my address is this. My address in the system is this. You delivered there. I mean, someone should be able to pull up records to show that where the food was delivered and look up on a map that address don't correlate to what address is on file in the account. It was all there in black and white if someone investigated. But no one did. No one would. Because I was just talking to some idiot in a call center that gets dinged for escalating things. I don't even entirely hold the person that I dealt with accountable. I think it's more the corporate culture of these places. Because if you deal with an individual and you lay out the facts 5 times and they don't want to get you the right help, that goes beyond that individual. That goes to corporate culture.
Sure. No, I'm with you on that.
So Grubhub lost my business, and that's why I order all my food through Sparky Toaster. No, that's why I order all my food through
Hey, Sparky!
DoorDash. And speaking of DoorDash, we got Mars on the line.
Hi.
Mars! How's the coffee?
It's okay. Tastes good.
Good.
I've switched back to hot coffee, even though the weather is still kind of warm.
Well,
Just
I
because
never
I'm
switched
lazy.
away from hot coffee, even though the weather was hot.
I switched to iced in the summer.
No,
You know,
no,
my,
hot coffee.
my
107. I'm sorry, what?
My nephew does iced coffee.
Cold
Oh.
brew iced coffee, but I
107
gotta-
degrees, hot coffee. No problem.
Actually, maybe I'll put a pot into. No, I won't put a pot into.
Actually, I'm actually wrong about that. What I usually do sometimes I'll do I'll make a French press and then I'll stick it in the freezer or fridge right afterward and leave it for the next morning. So before I plunge it, so I take it out and I plunge it in the morning.
So, anyways, big news this week. I'm sure you couldn't miss it. England has a new national anthem.
What?
He's going there.
Well,
What?
I gotta tell you that when I first saw the news, which you know where I first saw the news, the Quadraphonic Quad forums. Someone made a thread in the Quadraphonic Quad forums, R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth II, and I'm like, oh my God, the Queen passed, and then I pulled up a news site.
So Quad Bob renamed himself as King Bob.
Oh my God, I got to pull up the sound effects for that one. Mars bringing funny to the show right out of the gate. Thank you, Mars.
I'm sorry.
Keep that clip.
Quad Bob doesn't hang around with us in the Quadraphonic Quad.
Oh, you lower
anymore.
folk. I see.
Yeah, no, we're the inferior quad. He hangs out on the Facebook group.
Oh, the Facebook. You're not on
Yeah.
the Facebook group?
Yeah, and I had a funny little non-interaction with him on the Facebook group because he posted something that was not entirely true, and then I posted the what was the entirely true thing without pointing at him directly and saying that he was wrong, and then he just deleted his post that had the misinformation in it without saying anything, and I was like, yes, victory.
I see.
Because I care about
Kind of
petty
a
shit
subtle
like that.
victory, though, right?
Yeah. Sure, he caused me many months of anger and frustration and screaming, but at the end of the day, I corrected a small little bit of misinformation. on
Gators didn't have the
Facebook.
gummies then.
I barely have the gummies now. I really don't like it that much, but I gotta figure out how to take this stuff right. Anyways, I don't know. Either messes with my head one way or the other.
Okay.
Anyways, point is that yeah. So I read that and I was like, oh my God, I wonder if Wikipedia updated the Wikipedia entry for the song "God Save the Queen" to actually be "God Save the King," because technically that, you know, when that happens, the song changes. And sure enough, Wikipedia was right up on that. They had already changed the Wikipedia page for "God Save the Queen" to "God Save the King," and "God Save the Queen" now redirects to the page for "God Save the King." And so I, for one, am really looking forward to the Sex Pistols reunion. It's going to be really interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah. Because we want all of the UK to sing Sex Pistols.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
know.
That was funny.
I know. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
I had to think about that one for a second, actually. But yeah, that was pretty good.
Because they're going to have to get back together to re-record "God Save the Queen" as "God
Are
Save
they
the
going to be able to get back together?
Well, they continued playing without Sid Vicious after he died for a number of years, right?
Oh, did they?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure all the other members are still alive. Actually, I Googled it before the show to see if my joke would make sense. Just in case
so reunion
some smart
tour?
aleck were to... Well, I don't think they've played since like the early 2000s, though. So
Okay.
that's...
Okay.
But you know, let's see. If we pull up their Wikipedia page, they last reunited 2008 with Johnny Rotten, Steve Jones, Glenn Malik, and Paul Cook. And I checked all the Wikipedia pages; they're all still alive, unless one of them died in the last 5 minutes. Which, you know, maybe the news of the Queen shocked them and put them in the hospital. Anyways, point is. Is that my joke makes sense because theoretically a lineup of the Sex Pistols could reunite and record "God Save the King."
They could.
They could.
They could.
They
Yeah.
could. So my joke stands.
Yeah, it works.
That's
works.
what makes it
It's
funny.
been fact checked, and it's ready. It's going.
Any joke that is fact checked and vetted by Wikipedia is automatically funny.
So
right?
I have a question. What's Canada gonna do? Don't they have the Queen all over their money?
Well, I think everyone's money gets reprinted, but I think it's much like any reprinting.
Eventually, it'll take time. Yeah.
Well, I think that I think I heard on the radio today that like England is working to print stamps and pounds or whatever, so they'll probably be printing new money pretty soon.
Oh.
But they're not going to take all the old money out of currency instantaneously.
Kind of like our pennies are still not gone yet.
Like any printing,
Exactly.
It'll be a transition period where you see a mixture.
You know how many people are gonna
Right.
be hoarding those Queen dollars though? The Queen bucks?
People might.
Yeah, but they're not going to change the loonie in Canada.
No. Because you gotta have the loony and the toonies.
Well, doesn't the loonie also have the Queen on it?
Yeah, I think it does. I know one
So
of them
they-
is two. I have a loony and a toonie. I know one has two different metals in it and one doesn't.
Yeah, the toonie has the two.
Yeah, and it's magnetic. You can put a magnet to it and it sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Wow.
I
Yeah?
remember.
I found that out by accident. I lost one of them for a while, and I'm like, I don't know where this coin is. And I look underneath my laptop; it's stuck to the bottom of my laptop because there's magnets on the bottom. So because you flip it upside down, it turns into a tablet. Yeah, I was stuck to the bottom of my laptop for like 3 months.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well-
The loonie does have the queen on the
Yeah.
It's actually the front side,
All the coins.
and the loon. Yeah, that's what I thought. But
Right. But
Okay.
well, I remember our first trip to Canada, which was a band trip that we tagged along on for my siblings. That was the first experience of that, and that's something that catches you by surprise the first time it happens. That there's no dollar bills and there's all dollar coins and $2 coins. So, like, my dad goes to buy some lunch at this amusement park we went to, and he's expecting to get some ones back in his change, but he gets all change back in his change. And my dad does like a double take and like, wait, I'm still getting used to these coins. And he got a weird look from the cashier because like this is normal day to day to him.
Yeah.
So we're just the dumb tourists. And yes, Mars, this is the perfect show for this. Loonies and toonies. Well, I had a loony and a toonie for a long time. And it was quite fitting that the loony and the toonie I held on to came from my road trip to Canada.
So
from
Venison and
hell.
Pedge, that was the loony and toonie, right?
Well, I think Tams was the loony. I don't
Oh,
know who
she
the
was-
Toonie
She was the cuckoo. She wasn't any of those. She was a little more.
The sewing kit dropped, and all the pins made all these parallel cuts on my arm that are half
You
healed.
should become a pinhead from. Dang.
And the scissors just landed right in the middle perfectly where that, what looks like a self-inflicted wound is.
What?
That's not the way she said it, but that's the way the
No.
story sounded to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, I
that's-
saw what really happened, so I...
Yeah. Yeah.
The box just fell, and all the pins scratched me up with all the previous... It's so obvious.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
All right. Sparky writes in, I have a question off topic. How long did Johnny spend commuting one way to work back in January 2020, and how many different modes of transportation did you use daily?
Wow.
So you mean before COVID? All right.
yeah,
Well, the same thing I'm going to do tomorrow is the same thing I did in 2020 because it's the thing
Wow.
I do once a week every Tuesday. And that is I walk to a train station, I take a train into Boston, I walk to the office. So that's two modes of transportation, foot and train. Also, currently, my job picks up my entire train fare. Back in 2020, my job picked up like half my train fare.
They need to do what Google does and just take a bus to where you are and just take you there.
So now, how long does it take? Let's see. I leave the house at 7:30. Although I like to give myself extra time at the train station. I could really leave the house at 7:15, and I get to the office.
One day you get there at you leave at 7:30 is the day it's not showing up.
I mean 7:45. Basically, I leave the house at 7:30 to catch the 8 o'clock train. It takes about 50 minutes to walk there. But the thing is, if I get there early, I get closer to the train because then a line starts building up when it gets closer to time, and then I might not. It might get to be standing room because I take an express train that only has one stop before Boston from here. So yeah, I leave the house at 7:30. I get to the office and sit down by 9. So we're looking at an hour and a half of commute, but much of that time is spent sitting on a train listening to podcasts or walking around a nice leisurely walk listening to podcasts. Or walking around in awful weather holding an umbrella and listening to podcasts, cursing the wind. So yeah, 90 minutes. So anyways, just a little review of the schedule coming up, which transitions into a talk of exciting things coming
Wait, you have
up.
a schedule? Are you putting it on Twitter?
Well, we're gonna have a show next week, and then we're off for 2 weeks, unless you two want to do some shows yourself, which I guess I could try to figure out how.
What
to
are you doing? You're gone for 2 weeks? Where are you going?
Well, the week of the 26th, I'm going to Disney World. And
What?
Then when I come back that following weekend, Gothard is picking us up from the airport. We're hanging out that weekend, and the following week, early in the week, we're going to see Stereolab live in concert.
Whoa.
Oh, you're gonna see Stereolab?
We're going to see Stereolab. This is going to be my let's see.
That's exciting.
March
They're still doing stuff.
Yeah, they are doing another reunion tour.
The same people?
Mostly. Well, the same as the last reunion tour, which
Oh,
was
okay.
cut short by COVID, and now because I saw them.
Yeah, the only thing that stops them is COVID. It's fine.
Well, I mean, they did a reunion tour, and then they started booking more dates to do another tour, so they were
Yeah,
continuing
yeah.
the reunion, and then COVID happened. So I was going to see them a second time on their reunion tour as they
Yeah.
were going back around, but because I'll see them as much as I can. I saw them for the Margarine Eclipse tour. I saw them for the Fab Four Suture tour. I saw them for the Chemical Chords tour.
Wow.
And then I saw them for that reunion tour. So this will be my 5th time seeing Stereolab live. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, no Johnny on the 26th or the 3rd. So of course, being that I'm preparing for this Disney trip, which
So
is
Brian
not
and I are
cheap,
playing Sims 2 that day.
I guess so. So I tell you, in this day and age, though, it is very nerve-wracking to have spent a bunch of non-refundable money on airfare, a bunch of money on booking tickets and hotel rooms in Disney World. That if I did have to rearrange them, I think you could reschedule
Wait, in
those
2
or
weeks?
juggle those around.
You say 2
But-
weeks?
In 2 weeks,
In 26, right?
the 26th, I get on a plane and fly to Florida.
That's exciting, though.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I need to like board up the house, lock myself down and not get anywhere near people. Because if I get COVID before this damn trip, I'm going to be shit out of luck for the airfare.
Did you not get insurance on your airlines?
I never do that shit. That's a sucker's game.
Oh,
not
he
if you
says
got
that the
COVID.
first time. He says this
First-
now, but wait until
That was my attitude pre-COVID times. And here's the thing. I did the same thing last year. I didn't have a problem. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about it because I got vaccinated, and that was back when I had like the numbers were 90-something%. But then,
yeah. Last
but-
year at this time, no one wanted to fly. Remember?
right?
Yeah.
Actually, here's the thing. I booked last year's trip
Mhm.
after the vaccine came out, and it was looking like everything was looking up. And then I booked it, and then the variants started happening, and everything started looking down again, but everything stayed open. So I have to say it was worth doing because I got to Disney World in the era of COVID still lingering and masking being required, but it was open, and the crowds were probably lower than they normally would be. Now, it wasn't empty. I mean, I tell you, Rise of the Resistance just went off virtual queue to
Oh my
line up
God!
and
Yeah.
wait while I was there. And the day
That's
that
so cool.
happened, it was a 3-hour wait. But
Did
I
you get
just
to go on
walked-
it?
Well, I kept an eye on that 3-hour wait, and by the end of the day, it worked its way down to 30 minutes. So we got a bus over to Hollywood Studio, and we got on the 30-minute line, and we got in.
Nice. That is
yeah.
so cool.
That's the thing that's really great
Yeah.
about Disney World. Now, Disney has this whole Genie Plus where you pay for the thing, and it's all sucks and it's all bullshit and it's really complicated. But the thing that's really good, if you can be fluid and flexible, is the app will show you the wait times at all the parks. So you get a park hopper, you have the app, and you just look at the app, and if it's like, oh shit, it's a really long wait here. Oh look, there's shorter lines over that side of the park. Let's make our way over that direction. You just go to where the lines are short.
Do they use the app now, or is it just the app now? Is it not the band anymore?
Well, the band gets you into the park, although I don't buy one of the bands. I just get the cards because they charge you for the bands. But the app, I mean, you could use the app to unlock your door to your room. I mean, heck, Mars, if you wanted to, you could download the app right now, and you could pull up the map and see the wait times and all the rides.
Can I unlock your hotel room door from here?
Well, if I gave you like my information and you logged in as me, you could.
Can you randomly unlock people's doors and lock them back?
I guess you could if it's your door or tied to your.
I just want to see like someone sitting there hacking it, and all of a sudden all the doors all the way down the hallway keep unlocking and locking all like up and down. That would be it'd be annoying. It'd be annoying for others.
I suppose.
Click.
I suppose if Kristen got to a room and we had been separated and she couldn't get the door open, she could probably call me and ask me to hit the thing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm joking. It'd be hilarious hack, but it would.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But so, anyways, I was a little nervous about staying COVID free. So I was like, I'm not going into the office next week. I'm just gonna explain to my boss like, hey, I am bunkering down. I am not going anywhere. Could you cover for me next Tuesday in the office? Because I really don't want to get COVID and ruin this Disney. And he's like, yeah, that's cool. But then I was talking about this past weekend when I was at home celebrating some family birthdays. And my aunt mentioned that one thing that kind of got lost in the news cycle with all the, deaths of queens is that the second booster is available, and the second booster targets Omicron. And I heard something about that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they made it available to everyone. And yes, second booster with Omicron focused.
Oh, is it available to everyone now?
It's available to everyone. I got mine today. So we are now coming to you live with twice as many boosters. Now, Brian's old, so he already got his, last month?
Well, actually, the latest one I was scheduled to get this morning, but I wasn't feeling well.
Oh,
so I canceled it.
Bummer. Oh, that is just no. That's the button.
Yeah.
Oh, missed it by that much.
Exactly.
You're over 50. You should have been able to get that last. Well, then again, I guess this.
No,
one just
I
came
canceled
out.
because I was not feeling well. Yeah, you're gonna have to test me for COVID. Pretty sure it'll be coming negative, but even still.
So you've not been feeling well for a week?
No, only for a day. It was
Oh.
actually yesterday was the worst day. I mean, I
Okay.
could barely get out of bed. Get out of bed only for emergencies like going to pee.
If you just brought a bottle with you, Brian, you wouldn't have to get up.
Now, Sparky asks, must you still produce a Vax card to fly, or eat at restaurants? Are Vax cards a thing at all? Now, you know what? I've never had to produce one to enter anything. I don't know about flying.
You have to show one if you're going to enter a hospital.
Yeah.
I think transportation. I know transportation was like the last holdout that they were still requiring masking. But then, the conservatives got that all overturned and forced that away because, heaven forbid, we ask anyone to do something for the common good
I
and
always
health
bring a
of
mask
people.
just in case. Doesn't mean
One of the airlines was actually promoting.
Yeah.
One of the airlines was actually promoting. Oh yes, take off your mask. We want to see your smiling face. The fuck?
The last time I flew, I was flying to Virginia. And it was the day they on the news. It's the day. Oh yeah, airports are saying you don't have to wear them. So I went in there and a quarter of the people had them off, and everybody else had them on because they didn't know. And I got on the plane. I'm asking one of the flight attendants. I'm like, do I need to wear a mask? They're like, oh, we have children at home, so we're wearing masks no matter what. That's fine. But you don't have to if you don't want to. And I'm like, I probably will anyway. But
I'm gonna wear it on the train tomorrow because I'm starting my caution now, and I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it on the plane to Disney.
Oh, I thought you were staying home.
You know what they need to come up with?
Oh.
They need to come up with a Darth Vader suit where you have a mechanical way of exchanging the air in and out through filters, and then your whole body is covered with the suit.
That probably would be clunky and inconvenient and
very
not
hot.
Really.
Would it have built-in air conditioning?
That could be part of it.
Because honestly, if it has built-in air conditioning, because that thing, because there's like a lot of leather in that. You know how sweaty that would be.
I suppose a common dream of everyone's is to be an astronaut. Wearing an astronaut spacesuit around everywhere while not being an astronaut could get you halfway there, perhaps.
You wear one of those hazmat suits.
And the backpack would be a portable air conditioner.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, you wouldn't have to actually bring the air.
So
you would just have the venting and the the in and out of the air go through the cooling mechanism.
So anyways, Vax cards are still a thing, and they updated my Vax card, and I'll
was there room for the next sticker?
They made 4 spots on the Vax card. So now with my 2 initial Vax shots and my 2 boosters, my card is filled. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Oh, but you go to the back.
Are there more spots on the back?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought I traded in for a free sub after this.
Yeah. Is this one free?
You could do that.
This one's free with the free sub.
Do I go to Jersey Mike's or Subway for that? I don't know who's got the government contract on that. Probably a lucrative contract there.
No, you get a Blimpie. Sorry, you only get a Blimpies.
I will say, I mean, here's where you're gonna like some
Blimpies.
of my family
Where's
members have said.
Blimpies?
I think they're closed. I don't know.
There isn't.
I miss Blimpies though. Maybe a Quiznos.
Quiznos. But no, I will say that like my job required all of us to upload pictures of our Vax cards. Now our job is not.
Oh, wait a second. There are some Blimpies around.
Huh?
Are there really?
There's one in. Oh, that says permanently closed.
That's
permanently
where it
closed.
Is. It's employers could still do things like that. So, Vax
up in
Vacaville,
they have.
Oh.
One that closes at 8.
That's an awful long way to go just for a freaking really sub.
I know, but the other ones are closed forever. So.
Okay.
So anyways, the point is that after my weekend trip, I was on a mission. Get this booster as soon as I can, because not only then will I have like the focus booster and the focus vaccine on the Omicron variant, but I'll have newly boosted, which makes my immune the strongest.
Hella tired and sore on the train tomorrow.
So you know what? It doesn't. The past 3 shots, knock on wood, have not affected me at all. So I'm expecting pretty much nothing from this one too.
I just felt Venison's age when I took them every time. I felt like 188, or 3,000. I mean, honestly, I was like, dude, and the next day I'm fine. But like the day I get it, I'm like, dude.
I didn't get anything from any of them. Felt great.
I just felt old as crap.
I mean, me being a bit of an ass at times, while Kristen was having trouble with her arm, I was like, making points to make wide swoops with my arms around her.
Did she punch you? Did she punch you with that arm?
She would have if she could have. But
did she punch you? Did she become a lefty? Did she shoot? Did she hit with that arm? It's like, I'm gonna have my left hook. See how well this one goes.
No, we both had a good laugh over it because we had that kind of a marriage that we could, joke and laugh at each other. So
did you put Hestia down your shirt and say enjoy?
Yeah, like she could pick her up to do that.
Oh, kitty.
Anyways, so now Kristen. Now here's the thing. I go online to see what my options are to boost. And so the first place I went to is CVS, because that's usually where I go to get prescriptions, things like that. And sure enough, the CVS that's down the street from me has the Moderna booster. And I got the Moderna vaccination and the Moderna first booster. So I'm like, I'll stick with Moderna and go to CVS. And they had one opening today at 8 p.m. And so I'm like, put me down for that. And I submit it. And then I realize, oh, shit, I got the show tonight. And so I was like, well, let me see if Walgreens has anything earlier. And Walgreens was like, yeah, Walgreens, we can get you in like at 12:30. I'm like, great. Walgreens 12:30, let's do it. So I drive out. I cancel the 8 o'clock at CVS. I schedule the 12:30 at Walgreens. I drive to Walgreens. I go up there, She checks me in. She looks at my card. She says, "Oh, we're gonna have to send you to the other Walgreens, the next town over. We only had the Pfizer booster." Now, I had heard in news reports that they were saying you can mix and match the boosters.
Yes, you can.
And I have heard that it may be beneficial to get a different booster from what you had. So I was a bit surprised that they were reluctant. So I said, I thought you could. And she said, let me ask the pharmacist. And she goes, and she comes back, she says, we can, but it's recommended to stick with what you have. And I'm like, okay, if that's the recommendation the professional's going to make. And I checked, the CDC site recommends sticking with, but you can mix and match.
He works from home, Sparky. He works wherever he's at.
I got a phone.
Yeah.
Actually, this friend of my wife's,
I was working.
her initial shot was Moderna, and then her second, the first booster was no, it's actually not a first booster. The first round was you had 2 shots, right?
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So in her first round, she had a Moderna and a Pfizer, so she mixed from the very beginning.
Oh, that you're really only supposed to do if it's like an emergency. You're not supposed to mix.
Well, the other just wasn't available. In fact, what I was scheduled for one this morning, and my last one I got from Rite Aid, because Rite Aid was so freaking simple. Set up the appointment, you show up. There was no line or anything like. You just get it done.
Yeah, no, it's been simple.
So we went back to Rite Aid with this appointment, but since I was feeling poorly, I decided to cancel it.
Right.
And it was going to be a Pfizer rather than Moderna. And I go, I don't really care. Although I am an identical twin, and if one of us switches vaccinations, then are we still twins?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Identical twins, I should say.
Yeah. No one can take that away from you.
Dang. Boy, you're easy.
I've had all
And that's
Pfizer.
a true medical opinion?
I am a medical expert on twins, and yes, they can't take that away. I don't know.
Gators, was there a twin of you?
Well, I once pretended to be my twin.
How'd that work out for you?
I thought, well...
Was that to get more free samples at Costco? Because I think every kid tries that, right?
Oh. That's because...
It was to get people to stop picking on me by saying I wasn't really me. I was actually my identical twin brother who happened to be born with the exact same birthmark and also got hit in the face with a shovel at the same time in the same place with the same scar.
You've been watching a lot of soap operas then, weren't you?
It was pretty hard to sell that story.
So your name is Johnny and your identical twin is Jonathan.
No,
that's pretty fucking close.
Yeah, that works.
But I'm sorry, Brian. Jonathan fell down a well, and this is the one that's left. But later on, next season, Jonathan's gonna come back, and the other one's gonna like fall down a cliffside or something, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the real question is, who shot Laurel?
Hardy.
No, Laurel Bannon Dillon.
Do your Sims have freaking guns now?
No, not that Laurel Banning.
Oh.
I just watched the episode where Laurel Banning was shot, and they're trying to make it kind of a, was it Jason or was it Janet? Because, of course, I
Was
know.
this Sunrise Bay?
No, this is Pine Valley.
Pine Valley?
Pine Valley, Pennsylvania. Location
Is this
of
a
all my
soap opera?
children. Yes.
Oh, on All My Children. Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm talking about all my children characters. Nick will know who shot Laurel.
Sure. Yeah, we'll have to ask him.
I'm telling you, it's a really depressing time in All My Children I'm watching because Laurel just got shot because Jason was mad at her brother for being gay and turning his younger brother gay in his mind. So he got drunk, grabbed a gun, and aimed poorly and shot Laurel, who was standing next to Mike Delaney, who he was aiming at. Meanwhile, Noah has been found guilty for a murder he didn't commit because Taylor testified against him because she's jealous that Noah chose Julia over her, so she's sending him to prison, and he's just been sentenced to hard time. And Trevor's about to lose his wife, and although Haley and Mateo are about to get together after will they won't theying for a number of months, so I guess that's the only good thing we got going on for us right now in Pine Valley at this point of
There.
But back to the booster shot. So I had to reschedule for 3:30 at the Walgreens the next town over because they had the Moderna booster to follow Walgreens' recommendation of sticking with Moderna. So I went there and I got my booster. So I am boosted. I am ultra immune for at least the next month. So I should be all set, knock on wood, to not run any problems between now and the Disney trip. So only thing I got to worry about is
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. Yeah. Rainy weather. I'll bring a poncho.
Do you usually bring a poncho, or do they put them in the hotel rooms?
You bring them. They don't give you that shit for free.
You should. They give you those little stupid ones in the little discs. They open them up and they're a poncho.
I'm sure they'd be glad to sell you one. But Dune writes in, you and Gimp are booster buddies. Now, Dune, you get your booster? See, I didn't post. I just talked about it on my internet radio show.
I don't post things. I just let it know.
No, I just posted that I was pissed off that someone's Teams add-in broke again, because there's been a lot of that going on in Outlook lately. And it's like, for fuck's sakes, how many years have Outlook add-ins been a thing, and Microsoft still can't get this fucking right? Anytime Outlook finds, oh my god, I had to wait 2 seconds for this add-in to load, that's slowing everything down, we'll just disable it. And it's like, you didn't even ask if it was something important or essential that allows people to communicate. You just turn it off, and if you go in and try to turn it on, it doesn't stay on because they've disabled it. And then you gotta jump through 50 fucking hoops to get the damn add-in reinstalled and Outlook to leave it the fuck alone. Now Sparky's writing in and is not talking about it. And that's fair enough. I mean, we all make our choices, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get in anyone's case. I have better things to do with my time.
Oh, Dune's holding the wash. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. The wash.
The wash.
The wash. So, anyways, that's what's going on this week. Getting ready for Disney. I got all my, I got a lot of great meals booked for some of the fancy restaurants in Epcot. I've booked the Cellier Steakhouse and the Rose and Crown Pub, going there for dinner one night. We booked the Be Our Guest experience in Magic Kingdom.
Oh, I've heard that's actually pretty fun.
Yeah. So, and Dune's got 3 weeks in North Carolina tomorrow.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, whereabouts?
Well, north of South Carolina, I think.
Well, whereabouts within the state?
North of South. Nice. Mm-hmm.
We almost went to Charlotte a couple months ago and canceled last minute.
I fly into Charlotte all the time, so I used to live I used to live in Salisbury.
Statesville.
So, about 40 minutes from Charlotte. Yeah.
Oh, I've not started the actual NHP stream yet.
What? Well, it was broken for the last 2
go.
weeks, but.
What was it?
I have to correct that. We weren't going to fly into Charlotte because that would take a couple of
Oh, you're probably going to
stops.
fly into Raleigh, huh?
We were going to fly into Raleigh and then rent our car and drive to Charlotte.
Oh shit, you're right. The streamers are broken.
Yeah.
Bo.
We need to give you Rico's email address. You're more
For
on
what?
top of this than Dune and I are.
Well, it's because I click the little button once in a while.
I checked it like 2 weeks ago and it was working.
See? Right after you checked it, it went down probably. It's like, okay, he did his 2-week check. Go down.
Oh man. Well, I think
So Dune, does that mean you're flying into Charlotte?
I think it's Statesville. Well, I don't know.
Or does Statesville have an airport?
He might be flying into Virginia, actually.
Maybe he's driving it from Wichita.
Yeah.
He said yes. Charlotte Airport's actually pretty nice. I don't mind it. Except my airplane, when I fly in, is on the very end of the freaking concourse, which means it takes forever to get to the other side. I'm like, dude, really? Can't you, like, put my plane right next to the baggage? Yeah.
That'd be too convenient.
Either trams or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's not that far from Charlotte, just a bit north. So,
Yeah.
just
It'll be fun, dude.
77 and in the rental car and head on up there, and there you
You're
go.
getting there around rainy season, but it'll be nice. It'll be nice.
Dune Wright said, "Yes, drive to Statesville."
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing the drive from Wichita, I guess. That's okay. Let's see how long of a drive that is.
That's
Gee,
only
and
a
North
day.
Carolina has a Concorde. Does
That's-
every state have to have a Concorde?
Probably. They have a nice mall there, actually. I do like their mall.
It's only a 16-hour,
Yeah.
47-minute drive.
It's not bad.
Yeah. It's not bad at all.
So Massachusetts, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and California have a
The
Concorde.
The Concord Mall is actually a really nice mall, Brian. I've been to their theaters there a couple times.
In the North Carolina.
Yeah, in North Carolina. Yeah,
Right.
they're pretty nice. They have a Best Buy the size of a Radio Shack, and it's really weird because it's so small. You're walking there like, oh, fly then drive. Okay. Oh, fly to Charlotte and then drive. Yeah, and their Best Buy is the size of a freaking Radio Shack, like in the mall. And I'm like, dude, that's really weird. It's too teeny.
There's a Radio Shack still?
No.
No,
It's
the
a Best Buy
size
the
of a
size
Radio
of
Shack.
a Radio Shack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Anyways, so I still have not successfully grown a cow plant again on my Sims game. I've planted 3 of them, but I'm still waiting for them to bloom. But the seasons have turned to winter again, and my Sims are about to enter another Christmas day. So we have now reached a year later from the last Christmas disaster. And here we are a year later. And let me tell you, Santa Claus, who has moved in and is living and has now been married to both of the women in the household.
Wow, Santa's a player. Go Santa.
Yeah. Santa moved in, and Madeline invited Santa to move in once they got flirty, and Madeline married Santa. And
Everyone wants to sit on Santa's lap.
Yes, and Chester died at Christmas dinner and came back to the house as a ghost. Madeline was spared death and stayed alive for another few weeks, and then after successfully finishing her career and setting up her own little personal study to retire and spend her time at, passed on of natural causes, but then came back to the household as a ghost and married Santa Claus, continuing their romantic.
Wait, can you marry someone as a ghost?
Yes.
How do things happen if you're a ghost?
They just do.
Wow.
In The Sims,
Santa's got him some ethereal stuff going on down there.
In The Sims, the difference between a ghost and a living person is mostly cosmetic. Ghosts can marry, ghosts can have sex, ghosts can be afraid of death, ghosts go to the bathroom, but ghosts can also possess things, whereas humans can't. And ghosts don't have phone numbers, so you can't call them. But so anyways, Ghost Madeline and living Father Winter, Santa Claus, got married and solidified their relationship and had sex many times. Chester and Laurel got remarried after he came back as a ghost and continued raising their 3 kids. Their oldest has just turned into an adult at this point, but at some point Laurel started getting friendly with Santa, and I decided we got to get these 2 together. Mostly I wanted Santa Claus to have a kid, because having a kid as Santa would be kind of fun, but Madeline is too old to bear children, Laurel can still bear children. So I decided to take Santa and Laurel out on a date and build up their relationship, bring them home, have them have sex, and have their married partners walk in on them in the middle of having sex. And everyone got mad at everyone, and then divorces happened. And so Laurel is now married to Santa, and they've had a kid, so they have a baby now. I had to build an extra bedroom in the house so that when the baby
What'd you name the
turns to a
child?
toddler. I named the child. What did I name the child? I forget what I named the child. Now Dune says ghosts can't grow cows. Actually, Chester as a ghost is still a very good gardener. And he grew some cow. He was able to through plant splicing, grow cow berries that he could use to plant to grow a cow plant. So he's made 3 of them. He's planted them, and they're starting to sprout, but they've not grown up fully to a cow head yet. So that's what I'm still working on. But anyways, I got Chester and Madeline back together because they were the original married couple that I started this household with anyways. So now Chester and Madeline are once again married. I think they're engaged. I don't think I've actually completed the marriage ceremony. Actually, no, I did. I did finish the marriage ceremony. I had them elope quickly in the house after getting them engaged. Father Winter and Laurel got married, got Laurel pregnant, so now Son of Santa exists. And Santa is very excited about Christmas. He's especially excited for Santa to come visit and give him a present.
Wait.
And I'm not making that up.
Why is Santa right for Santa?
Because I think that if you ask your Santa to move into your household, they then generate a new Santa that shows up to give out presents. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I'd bring up the game and play it right now, but we'd have to play through the full day of Christmas and making the meal and have everyone sit down and open presents and all that. It'd be pretty boring to watch. We'd get Sparky opening Cheerios.
Well, by the way, Sparky, I recommend Frosted Cheerios. Those are pretty good.
I mean, I can bring it up if you want me to. We could do a little bit of it. You let me
So
know if you get
I was watching
bored.
someone play Sims
Or
2
not.
until 2 in the morning last night, or this morning.
Really?
And yeah, and their cat has a job. And then
And
they had a lesbian relationship with a witch.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, well, okay.
How progressive. We've come a long
Except
way,
the problem is the cat was a lazy bum. The cat was a lazy bum and didn't want to go to work. So, they're very mad at the cat. But
Whoa, wait. Sparky never heard of Frosted Cheerios?
Sparky, you gotta try the
Those are still a thing, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember when they were new.
Yeah, I
Those
remember
are
the
great.
Frosted Cheerios. I saw a commercial for it on the Retro Commercial Channel.
It was great. They took the healthiest cereal and loaded it with tons of sugar, like every cereal
Yeah,
should be.
man.
That was the best invention ever.
Like
was Frosted
cornflakes,
Cheerios.
and you put like cornflakes when you put like 8 gallons of sugar on it and make little sugar islands in it.
Well, Cheerios, Frosted Cheerios, and with a buy now button. So yes, they still make and sell Frosted Cheerios. They're in the blue box.
Yes, right. Yes, Sparky. Just look for the blue box and buy it. Don't buy Rice Krispies. Those aren't as good. If you get Rice Krispies, buy the Cocoa Krispies. They're better.
Now,
Let's see.
do us-
So the blueberry Cheerios is a blue box. The Frosted Cheerios is a darker blue box.
Oh,
Okay.
Available on Amazon.
Wow.
And then a half blue box is the honey vanilla Cheerios, gluten free.
That sounds horrible. I don't
Right,
want
well-
vanilla Cheerios. No.
that sounds good. I'd try that.
Give me
Let's take a look.
some. Oh, go ahead.
All right, look, we got the Cheerios website up here right now. There's multi-grain Cheerios with real strawberries. There's strawberry banana Cheerios, honey vanilla Cheerios,
Ugh.
very berry Cheerios, multi-grain Cheerios, pumpkin spice Cheerios, original
No.
Cheerios, maple Cheerios, honey nut Cheerios treat bars, honey nut Cheerios medley crunch,
What?
honey nut Cheerios, frosted Cheerios.
No.
Cinnamon Cheerios, chocolate peanut butter Cheerios, chocolate Cheerios, Cheerios Oat Crunch Oats and Honey, Cheerios Oat Crunch Cinnamon, Blueberry Cheerios, Apple Cinnamon Cheerios, and Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond.
Hey, where's the maple Cheerios? They're right there.
Yeah, I read them on the last page. Right in between Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios treat bars.
What's wrong? Where's regular Honey Nut Cheerios, not all the other stuff?
What's that?
You was the regular Honey Nut Cheerios. You said all the other kind, but there was the regular Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, there was after Honey Nut Cheerios Medley Crunch and before Frosted Cheerios.
Oh my god. I hope you guys are taking notes. Gators will give you a quiz at the end of the show. You need 2 Scantrons and a number 2 pencil.
That is 20 different varieties of Cheerios cereals.
Yeah, that's too many.
That's,
Well, I just want my regular Cheerios and my Honey Nut. Go away.
well, heck, I think they had the chocolate peanut butter, but they didn't have the peanut butter by itself. That's wrong right there. Now I have to buy a box of chocolate peanut butter Cheerios and separate them out if I want to have a bowl of peanut butter Cheerios.
Maybe, but what if they're mixed in chocolate and peanut butter in the same Cheerio, so it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup?
Well, the picture in the box looks like there's light ones and dark ones.
Okay.
Is that racist if I buy a box of chocolate peanut butter Cheerios and separate the light
Yeah,
ones
that's called
from the dark
segregating Gators. That's very much.
I love
Don't
chocolate
segregate
peanut
your
butter
Cheerios, Gators.
I love chocolate peanut butter Cheerios. I always love seeing that nice balanced mixture there, and you get that chocolate peanut butter milk when you pour it on there. It is great.
Wow.
Why would I ever sort
He's
them?
segregating his Cheerios
I
again.
know. No.
The chocolate Cheerios need to ride in the back of the bus. Sorry.
No. I'm putting that box right up front in the passenger seat next to me. That is where. Yes.
Oh, there's a Frosted Flakes chocolate.
Yeah.
No, just Frosted Flakes. You don't need to add chocolate to it. Stop it, you guys. You want chocolate? Add chocolate. Add your own chocolate chips. Do that. That's fine.
There's also chocolate Lucky Charms.
Okay. Are the charms the same colors,
Yes.
or are they
The marshmallows are or the proper technical term is Marbits. The Marbits are the same.
Marbits? What about the marshmallows? They said they're
Marbits.
marshmallows.
Breakfast cereal marshmallows are Marbits.
Who says this?
And it's the cereal pieces that are chocolate flavored in chocolate Lucky Charms.
Is this a thing? Is this on Wikipedia?
There's a guy on YouTube that does videos all about reviewing breakfast cereals and such.
Really?
And he taught me the right term is Marbits. Yeah, it's the Cereal Time channel. You know that you never watched the Cereal Time channel on YouTube?
No, I'm waiting for my cereal commercials on the retro commercial channel.
Oh my God!
I keep telling them on Saturday mornings they need to put the kids' cartoon commercials on there, and they don't do it.
All right, here, stay on this show, but after the show is over, you got to go check out this YouTube channel here called Cereal Time TV. It's great when you discover a new YouTube channel because then you can just binge like the year's worth of content that they have. Here we go.
Okay, I just download the channel and watch it. Will?
You could. Well, it's a YouTube channel. You can do whatever you want with it. So
you download the channel and listen to it.
He covers old cereal, new cereal, discontinued cereal. He'll show parts of old commercials and things like that. Here, Loki Charms 2021. I don't know what that is, but
they made Lucky Charms.
It's got fun opening music.
Loki cereal.
Loki Charms.
What's up, cereal heads? Today we depart from our regularly scheduled Saturday morning program for a special video about this new Loki Charms cereal box. I assume most of you have heard about this disastrous promotion by now, but if not, let me give you a brief recap. Now, a little over a week ago, Lucky Charms posted on all their social channels about this new Loki Charms special edition box that they were selling to promote the new Loki Disney Plus Marvel TV show.
I love that
Here's
show.
the launch
That's
announcement
great.
video for this campaign.
Hearts, stars and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, unicorns, rainbows and tasty red balloons. That's me Lucky Charms. They're mischievously delicious.
I'm excited.
At the end of that video there, you can see it tells you to head over to mischievouslydelicious.com to order a box of your own low-key charms starting on June 9th, the same day that the Loki TV show premiered. So you head over to that site and you find out there'll be a pre-sale starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for people who crack the special encryption code, and then the regular sale to the general public starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time that day. So it gave people a couple days to prepare, and many people cracked the pre-sale encryption code, which was L1130, I think. And if you cracked that code and put it in, you got to be one of the first 1,000 people at the front of the line for the pre-sale
go.
starting at 9 a.m. that Wednesday morning. That means you were guaranteed a box.
People
before
are
they
go
opened
nuts
up
over
the
their
general public to sell
breakfast
the
cereal
remaining
pre-sales.
2,500 boxes at 11
Do they?
a.m. Oh, and by the way, the cereal is just Lucky Charms. They didn't add any new marshmallows or anything special. It's literally just a box with the cartoon Loki on the front. But as we all know, the Marvel fandom and the Tom Hiddleston fandom is real, so the demand is there.
It is.
Now, as for the Loki TV show, well, I really can't speak to that. I haven't watched
It was a good
but I'll
series.
plan to
It was a good TV
So, anyways,
show.
he talks more about that.
Yeah.
He got a box of it, I guess, and he's showing it. And yeah, so if you like breakfast cereal, that there is a YouTube channel to check out when you're not watching this show.
Well, I'm not watching eating my blueberry instead.
Yeah, he did a video about Sesame Street cereals. He did a video about Wackies from 1965, Crayola Jazzberries, Royal Lunch Milk Crackers.
Oh.
You know, he does. I mean, Chocolate Life, Funfetti.
I remember Chocolate Life.
Yeah. Green Onion Checks.
Yeah.
Apparently,
'Cause
that's a
That
thing.
is something I've always wanted. Is green? I like my green onions in my miso, not in my
Yeah.
checks.
Yeah, that was. I think that was more of a joke thing. He explains what it is on this. Green onions.
What's up, cereal heads? Today we're going to talk about new green onion Chex cereal from South Korea. Now, this cereal isn't available in stores here in the US. I was fortunate enough to get this box from Cereal Time fans Jacob and Junmo from South Korea. I'm extremely grateful and thankful for the generosity of Cereal Time fans.
they
Now,
imported
we have a
cereal
lot to
for me.
unpack with this cereal here. This green onion flavored Chex cereal is about 16 years in the making. Let me briefly explain. Back in 2004, Kellogg's South Korea started an ad campaign for their new chocolatey Chex cereal. In the campaign, they pretended there was two flavors running for the new Chex flavor, the chocolate one and a green onion flavor. It was like a presidential campaign where the public could vote to see which flavor they wanted to be the new Chex.
Chocolate.
Now, obviously, Kellogg's only ever intended to make a chocolate version of this cereal, but when the public votes on stuff, well, you know what happens. Of course, people overwhelmingly voted for the green onion flavor because why not? It's funny.
So that's basically what happened, and now finally they actually made a green onion flavor.
That sounds horrible.
Well, let's see. I
But
think
do
he-
people actually buy it?
Well, some people did. Here. Let's fast forward to where he tries it.
Alright, so here's what a bowl of green onion Chex from South Korea looks like. The pieces aren't a super rich green color, they just have a light green hue and a sort of sugary glaze to them. And as you can see, these don't look the same as our Chex cereal
Sugar
here.
onions.
You can see that these Chex are a little larger and puffier. So let's try one of these pieces dry before we hit them with some milk. Here we go, just take one piece.
Watch him die.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It has a pretty strong green oniony flavor to it. There's some sweetness there as well, but it's really outdone by the pungent green onion flavor. I mean, it's not terrible. It's kind of like eating green onion chips or something like that. But I'm
I'm
just
not
not
doing
sure
that
it should be
either.
combined with milk for a cereal. But I guess we kind of have to do that, don't we? So let's hit him with some milk.
He doesn't look too
Does your milk
excited
turn
about
green?
Oh,
this.
yeah, that's not good at all. Oh man, I think I actually prefer those 20-year-old cereals that I open and eat more than this stuff. Combining them with milk really makes it worse. When you take a spoonful of cereal, your brain expects something sweet, and that's not what's happening here. It's salty and oniony and just not a good mix with milk
That's
at
a
all.
savory
Which isn't
cereal.
to say you can't make a delicious sweet and salty cereal. That maple bacon donut cereal and chicken and waffle cereal from Post were actually pretty good. They
Hey,
did
you
a
know
good
how you
job
can
of
fix it?
balancing that sweet.
How's that?
Huh.
Add some bacon bits.
There we go. There we go. So, you're welcome for showing you this YouTube channel.
Yeah. Sparky Toaster, you can now count your bowl of green onion Chex.
Yeah.
That's
If I can get my hands on the box, then I'd totally buy that for Sparky so he could count it during my next Sim stream.
oh dear.
And then his hands would smell like onions.
Probably wouldn't eat them. He probably just count them
Right, but
and then give it to other people around him.
but he touches
Yeah,
them,
but it's
then
just
his
the
hands will smell
handling.
like- yeah, Yeah, his hands are gonna smell like onions after he's done counting those. That'd be win-win, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And Sparky, give me a big old thank you for that. I'm sure Sparky's gonna get right on top of viewing every last video in that channel.
That was Serial Time, right?
Serial Time TV.
Yeah.
It's an interesting channel. It comes in bursts, because for a while he'll regularly update it, and then he'll go on a hiatus, and then he'll show up again and do a bunch. But there's a backlog of them, so I'm not like, I don't need my weekly fix of the brand new Serial Time. I just, every now and then binge a few of them, because they're fun.
I see.
Yeah, I love stupid content like that. It's I mean, that's the thing. You would never think to look for a YouTube channel devoted to doing episodes explaining breakfast cereals, but
you got to hand it to the guy. He's doing something that's unique. No one's going to step on his parade.
well, actually, he's not the only breakfast cereal YouTube streamer, but there's not very many of them, and I
Yeah.
think I like his channel the best. He'll when he does a topic, he brings out a box. He collects cereal boxes. That's actually a thing, collecting cereal boxes. And if you can collect the empty boxes so they're easy to fold up and store. He has a room that he set up with like a magnetic wall so that he can, pick his favorite boxes that he's going to display on the wall and hang them up with magnets, all unfolded out and boxed up. And because he's got way more boxes than he could display. Yeah, some people collect records, some people collect cereal boxes, and it's really kind of a cool thing to see that there is this community that has this particular interest and passion in breakfast cereals. So he'll show commercials, he'll cover a topic and put together a pretty informative piece of content that talks about what it is, the history of it, ad campaigns, mascots, and usually he'll try to have a sample of the product to taste. Now sometimes it's an old cereal that's been discontinued, and sometimes he doesn't have a sample of something to taste, but he'll say that it might be similar to
I'm
something
sure you
else.
can buy those on eBay.
Well, some things he does buy on eBay, and sometimes he has tried eating old expired cereal.
It's like buying grape knee-high on eBay. Some people drink that.
Usually he ends up spitting it out, and I think he's reached a point where he stopped doing that because it's the same thing every time you try to.
He doesn't want to become Steve and get like dysentery or something from his, or E. coli or whatever he was.
Well, it's kind of like Rhett and Link. They'll buy old candy off of eBay, and they have a term that they used called bogs, because the thing that had like the worst smell of the things that they covered was this Wade Boggs chocolate bar that they actually keep it in a case with a little door on the top that they can open up to get a whiff of it every now and then to compare it to something else. So now whenever they have smelly food that's outdated and gone bad, they can compare how bad it is compared to the bogs. Now, Sparky asks a very relevant question. If I have any old cereal boxes with records on the back of it, no, but I do have records that were cut from cereal boxes. I snagged them from my grandmother's house. I got some Archies, a few Jackson 5, a Bobby Sherman. I have those. I mean, they're the circles that are cut out, not the whole box or the whole back of the box, unfortunately. But yeah, those are something that one could collect. Most people cut the records. You can find the cutout records on eBay all the time, and I don't know what they normally sell for. More than I'm willing to pay for them, because I don't need to be a completist. I got a few,
Oh, you mean the uncut, like the whole box?
Oh, I also have a Sugar Bear one.
Huh?
Yeah, no, they would put a record on the back. Brian, you remember this? This is how you got some of your free music back in the day.
Yeah.
What was your favorite cereal box record?
Oh, crap. I don't remember. That's been too long ago.
Archie's, Sugar Bears, Jackson 5, Bobby Sherman. You don't remember any of their songs?
I don't recall. I don't remember on the cereal box.
You wouldn't be able to name if you heard any of them from a cereal box. Now maybe Sparky cut some of his favorite tunes off from a cereal box.
Or does he only?
Wow.
Or does he only count cereal?
It's time to turn the page, you guys.
Well, sometimes you got to have music to count to. Yeah.
You mean the Archies?
Well, I mean the Archies is good, but I think like the quintessential music made for cereal box would be the Sugar Bears.
Oh.
Do you have a sample of that?
I absolutely do, and that would be this is the one I have, the Happiness Train. Now I think they actually did release a Sugar Bears album. But being that the Sugar Bears were based off of the mascot of Super Sugar Crisp, it's pretty much breakfast cereal music.
Pretty good sounding for a cereal box.
This might have come up the actual LP if you bought that. Now, I think they actually had a single off of the album, and because the song that I usually see cited is "You Are the One," which was also included on a K-Tel album. So this is the one that may have got some radio airplay.
Oh, hang on a second. Wikipedia. Sugar Bear originally appeared in the 1940s as a mascot of the Sugar Crisp.
Right.
Unbelievable how old that is.
So this would have been the single.
I can rock that. I can rock out to this by eating some cereal.
It's all right. I prefer the Archies or Bobby Sherman personally, but nothing wrong with the Sugar Bears. I have not gone as far as seeking out a copy of the LP though. But I suppose if I came across one in the wild and it had a price tag of $10 or less, I'd probably grab it.
Yeah, about $5 right there.
I don't think I'd pay more than 10 for it. Although
$5 would be fine for that.
They'd probably charge more than 10, being that
what?
Certain...
If it's a single, it's got less songs.
Well, no, the LP they'd probably charge more than 10 for with breakfast cereal collectability, blah blah blah.
I just download off of YouTube and done.
I don't know. Let me take a look on eBay what the going rate for a Sugar Bears LP is. Let's maybe they got it on 8-track. Let's take a look. Sugar Bears. Let's go to music. And there we go. The Sugar Bears vinyl, $17 or best offer plus $4.16 shipping.
That's too expensive.
That is that. But then again, that's what they're asking. Let's do a search for.
Do they have OBO? Can you click on that and say like $8?
You could.
So the can you believe it? The Sugar Bears met with some controversy.
Uh-oh.
He was made into a character in 1964 Saturday morning cartoon Linus the Lionheart. Most of the characters in the cities sponsored by General Foods were mascots for Post cereal products, permitted at the time, but later banned by the FTC.
Huh.
Unbelievable.
Well, the last copy of the Sugar Bears LP that sold on eBay sold for $6 plus $5 shipping, so that comes to 11. So we were pretty close.
That's still $1 too much, huh?
Yeah. Well,
That's expensive shipping, but I guess if you're shipping records, you want to pay a little more for shipping, right?
Right. Well, it was a VG vinyl with a VG minus jacket, so it was in good enough shape. I would have. So yeah, $6. If I could find a copy in a while for $6, I'd pick that up.
So in the studio group of the Sugar Bears, a cardboard cutout record was produced and printed on the back of
Super Sugar Crisp.
thousands of Super Sugar Crisp cereal boxes. Illustrated records of 4 members: Sugar Bear, Honey Bear, Shooby Bear, and Doobie Bear.
Doobie
Should be a
Bear.
doobie. Oh,
Do
no.
you love it? Do you love it?
Doobie
No,
Bear,
Doobie
yes.
Bears.
And Doobie Bear looks exactly like you'd expect Doobie Bear to look.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Doobie.
strung out,
Nice.
needing snacks.
Let me see if I could
Great.
let me see if I can pull up an image of one of the Sugar Bear records just to share with the audience here. Oh, there we go. We got the image up here, so let's go ahead and share our
You like that, huh, Sparky? Oh God.
Doobie Bear. Yes, so that's
It's 64.
actually,
Unbelievable.
I the one I was picturing was Shooby Bear as Doobie Bear behind the drums there with the but no, Doobie Bear also looks like a Doobie Bear. They all look like Shooby and Doobie Bear are both passing something back and forth between them, I think.
Uh-oh.
What do you think?
That might be a stretch, but it's funny.
I don't think it's much of a stretch for those two bears to be passing something back and forth with that attire.
And when they get the munchies, they just pull out the cereal box.
Yeah, there you go.
Look
Gonna
at
come on.
Doobie Bear's eyes.
Gonna come on camera here, Hestia?
Kitty.
So let's see if we can
See?
get Hestia.
You were talking about cereal, and Hestia is there for her snack.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Says it's too early for snacks. Can't wait till after the show.
I gave her one before the show.
Oh.
Come on. Come get it.
Like, what are you talking about? Why you give me treats?
It's right here. It's right here.
Poor Hestia. It's like,
Come
what
on,
do you
Hestia.
want? Well, you bribing me. You're bribing me.
Yes, I am bribing you. Oh, well, Shanico's going to get it instead now.
That's because Shanico's smart.
Yeah.
No dummy there.
Yeah.
All right, Hestia, come here. Come here, Hestia. And come on, come on. Come over here where like the camera can see you a little bit. There we go. You see a little cat head shadow down there?
Kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty.
There you go. There's a little preview of. We'll give you more.
Do you just
after the
keep
show.
treats in your pocket?
What?
Do you just keep treats in your pocket?
I keep a Ziploc baggie nearby.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to. Well, here's the thing. Because I try to get Hestia to come visit me periodically while I'm working here, and so she's not comfortable in this room, but she is comfortable in the bedroom. So like she'll jump up on the bed and we'll do a little snuggle and let me pet her and rub her belly. But lately she's been getting kind of like shy and skittish. So I put a bag of treats here so that this way when she jumps on the bed I can give her treats. But here's the thing. Once I give Hestia treats and I stop giving her treats, she immediately shuts down like, well, I don't need anything else from you now, so I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
So
I'm done.
She's
Yeah.
a taker.
she'll come for pets, and if I give her pets, she'll enjoy that. But if I give her treats, she won't like. She's like, I don't care about pets. Fuck you. I got what I wanted. So I don't give her treats in the bed anymore. So I brought them over into here instead because she doesn't hang out here much anyways. But yes, Doobie Bear is certainly showing something's up in his eyes. But yeah, that was the Sugar Bears. Yeah. So summer's over. And,
Is it?
Yeah, we're
Not yet, man. Don't rush it.
we are like in the middle
We
of
got
September.
like another 9 days to go or something.
I mean, pretty much once you get into September and kids are back in school, summer's over. I mean,
So do you
it's-
like the pumpkin spice objects?
Yeah, I thought I was going to make my own pumpkin spice objects every year, and I just got too lazy to do that. But we did take some pictures a few years ago with the pumpkin spice mayonnaise and the pumpkin spice Duracell AA batteries. Some of these flavors get ridiculous. This one isn't pumpkin spice, but do you know that Oreo has made a cookies and cream flavored Oreo? How?
I have a question.
Yes.
This is a very is it Oreo a cookie, and don't you just throw it some milk or something and you'll be fine, or some ice
Well,
cream?
Oreo is a cookie with a cream filling. So generally things that are cookie and cream flavored are Oreo flavored. So the executives hard at work at Oreo trying to come up with new flavors noticed that a cookies and cream flavor was a growing trend, or a standard staple. Cookies and cream ice cream.
You gotta make chocolate
cookies and
back. Come on.
So
What are you talking about?
they came up with the idea of making a cookie and cream flavored Oreo. So it's an Oreo that's Oreo flavored.
Did you try it yet?
I have not. Actually, I didn't see that one on the shelf. I only read about it, so I might be making shit up.
Well, if you find it on a shelf, you gotta get it and try it.
Oh, if I see it on the shelf, I will. Let me see if I can actually. Oh my God! They're not making this up. There are tons of pictures of this. This is real.
Okay.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I think the concept is it's a cookies and cream ice cream flavored Oreo. So
Why
I
don't
guess
you
that's
just
a
take
bit of a,
Oreos and put them in ice cream?
so maybe it has more vanilla flavoring to it, but there you go. Cookies and cream Oreo.
Okay.
So they got like the little bits
You
of
know they
Oreo
have like
cookie in the...
you know they have like 50 Oreos now types. At least they had them. You go to the Wikipedia page, you'll be like, oh my God, they made this many types of Oreos.
So yes, it's an Oreo that tastes like Oreos.
Oh dear.
Now Sparky Toaster also disputes summer is not over. He's still
Yeah.
wearing white t-shirts. Well, I'm still
Yeah,
wearing
I'm wearing my white T-shirt right now.
I'm still wearing t-shirts and shorts, but I mean, I kind of the summer vibe is kind of gone when you get September.
Is it?
And this past weekend was my last weekend going to the shore for this year.
Why aren't you going back to the shore?
Well, I mean, the weather's going to start getting cooler. Actually, Saturday was a really good beach day. It was really cool. I brought the Super 8 cameras with me. I traveled down the shore.
Both of them?
Yes, and I loaded up one of my color Ektachrome rolls into one of the cameras to start shooting some of the color film, because I'm going to shoot a bunch of that and then buy a kit to develop all of it. So it's probably going to take me a few years to shoot it all. And I go down the beach, and my cousin Kenny is throwing baby Emily up in the air and catching her, and I got some movie footage of that. And Emily and Gabby are playing on the beach. I get some nice, cute footage of that. And Kenny and my brother and my brother's girlfriend are throwing the frisbee around. I get some nice, good action. And my other cousin Jeff, they're all throwing the frisbee around. I get great movies of that. It gets to the point where I'm almost out of film. So Kenny and my uncle are throwing the frisbee back and forth, and I'm like, well, I'll just shoot until it stops with the two of them throwing the frisbee back and forth, and that'll be what I'll have at the end of the film for my test strip. And they're throwing it back and forth, and they're throwing it back and forth, and I'm holding down the button, and I'm following back and forth, and the film's not ending. And the counter went past the 50-foot mark, and it's not ending.
Oh, good.
And so I finally, it went long enough that it was way too long that I knew something was wrong. It wasn't actually advancing film. And I opened up the camera and I took out the
You
cartridge.
forgot to put film in it?
No, the film was in it, but the film and the cartridge had gone like curly, so it wasn't lying flat. So it was kind of wrinkled and in place, and the sprocket holes were not being caught with what would advance it. So all these movies I caught of what I thought was going to be great footage, I don't think I caught any of it. I don't know if it jammed halfway through, because I did advance it a little bit, and I think I got it to catch, and I shot like another 15 feet after that. So that's 15 feet that it may have moved, but I'm not also I don't have a way to verify if it actually moved that 15 feet or if it just got jammed again. Now Sparky wants to know what OS I have on my screen. Look like XP. No, I'm running 10 on my main computer still. If I upgrade this computer to 11, the HDMI port doesn't output audio properly to my receiver. I'm running 11 on a laptop. Actually, I got 2 laptops going at this time, one on 10, one on 11. The one that's on 10 has upgradable RAM, so I bumped it up to 16 gig. The one that's on 11 is a newer laptop that's thinner and has an HDMI output, so a display out, but it only has 8 gig on board and no expandable slot. So I'm kind of just running the 2 of those. And I got a pile of other work laptops that were on the e-waste pile sitting in the basement.
And I thought we were going to be on Windows 10 forever.
That's what Microsoft told us.
Yeah. Bastards.
Well, I tell you,
and I'm totally against, updating a machine. Oh, did you see that link about the guys that are, I think it was NASA who's updating this Windows version on this spacecraft? I sent you a link in Wikipedia. I mean, Twitter.
So here's my entire screen, and there's my Windows 10 toolbar. So I was just sharing Chrome windows before. Anyways, what's this? You sent me something on Twitter?
Yeah, it was a day or 2 ago about a spacecraft that was being upgraded to Windows. Well, in fact, it was on XP, and they had to do a couple of steps.
No, I thought they said they were upgrading from 98, but I didn't know what they were upgrading.
Yeah, 98. That's
to.
right. That's right.
Um,
But is that cool or what?
That is cool. I mean, because 98 is such an unstable I could see 3.1 running something old still, because that was pretty simple and
well,
stable
98
and
SC was better.
and maybe NT, but I can't see. I would never send something out into space running Windows 98. That is
Gators.
Yes.
At least it wasn't running me.
Well,
If it was running Windows Me, you would have problems.
There is that, because when they said they were upgrading it from 98, my thought was, well, the upgrade path would be from 98 to ME. I don't know if you can upgrade.
Oh, I really
98.
hope not, because Me was the worst OS they ever made.
I mean, can you upgrade 90? I mean, can you upgrade 9X to XP? Well, yeah, you can. I've done it. Heck, I did.
Yeah, you can do 9.
XP.
Oh, God.
But it basically will reformat your hard, or it'll have to upgrade the format on your hard drive from a FAT to an NTFS, right?
Not necessarily. I ran FAT32 versions of Windows at XP.
I guess XP you can get away with staying on the FAT.
Yeah, you can do 98, or you can do FAT32 on it.
Well, at some point you have to go to NTFS.
Oh yeah. You had to,
but then again, NASA's probably not running standard versions of Windows 98. They're probably heavily modified.
Yeah, but even still, the idea that you would upgrade it, did Microsoft get involved in making sure that it would work?
Probably not.
Well, maybe people who worked for Microsoft were hired by NASA to consult with. It all comes down to whoever NASA hires with what knowledge. It doesn't have to be Microsoft itself, because heck, the people working at Microsoft today many of them probably never worked on 98. But you could probably hire people that worked on 98. Anyways, I tweeted to you that comic about the bird that was singing Sousa marches from the. Did you like that little comment?
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Well, you got the joke though, right?
Yeah.
Because any Sousa march, the French horn plays the upbeats to the tuba's downbeats. At least in any duple meter Sousa march. Because every Sousa march, the tuba does the oomp 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 oomp, but the French horn does the pa oomp pa oomp pa oomp pa oomp pa oomp pa oomp pa. You get that.
I don't remember that.
When you played French horn, did they ever play a Sousa march?
Well, I did it. I only played during, shall we say, concert season rather than marching band.
Well,
But yeah, we generally would do a Sousa march because my band director was definitely into Sousa.
So, do you remember what Sousa marches you may have played?
Offhand, no.
Okay, because there's two types of Sousa marches: country and western, and the country are played with kidding. They're
That was a good joke coming.
I want to see how long I could stretch that out before I had to break from that. But I couldn't come up with what a country Sousa march would sound like, what a western Sousa march. But really, there's two types of Sousa marches, duple meter and triple meter. And for example, if we go with the Thunderer, is the Thunderer a Sousa march? It's certainly a march. Yes, Thunderer is a Sousa march. That would be your a classic marching band duple meter Sousa march. So we'll go ahead and. So you hear the tube is going boom, 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 but you also get the boom, bump, boom, bump, boom, bump, boom, bump. So the French horn, or if you're in a marching band, mellophone, will be playing the bump, 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 bump on all the
Right.
upbeats. You're playing no downbeats, all upbeats. Bump, 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 bump. So while the the trumpets get the melody and the trombones get the counter melody, they get to have all the fun. But us as French horns, we're just bump, 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 bump the whole time. Now the other kind of march is your triple meter march, like the Washington Post. Of course, if I search YouTube for Washington Post, it brings up a bunch of news articles and not Sousa marches. So let's try that again. So here we go. Here's
In 1889, a fledgling Washington. DC
we get a history lesson about this march. Here we go. So in a triple meter march, the French horn gets to play a downbeat and the dub beat, because being in 6/8, it's 1 and a 2 and a 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 and a 2 and a it's 2 beats per measure subdivided into threes, 6/8, and so the tuba's doing the boom 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 boom, but the French horns are doing bop 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 in the 6/8. So that's the two types of Sousa marches.
Okay, I think I have a couple of those on a disc somewhere.
So clearly in the comic here, she was practicing a duple meter Sousa march, and the bird is just singing eighth note upbeats nonstop. Here, I'll have to share the screen here. If you didn't catch my tweet, shame on you for not following my Twitter. But here we go. It was a perfect music joke here, where you see the bird is singing eighth notes as upbeats, and the woman's there holding a French horn, and the husband's there going, "Ruth, you can't play Sousa around the bird anymore." And that's so perfect that he doesn't reference the French horn, but the picture shows it's a French horn. And so it's a joke that only makes sense to someone who knows.
Is it the same as a clarinet?
No, clarinet's a woodwind.
Oh, okay.
English horn is a reed instrument, but it's a double reed instrument that's bigger than an oboe but smaller than a bassoon. Because oboe and bassoon, I think, are the two more commonly known double reed instruments. The oboe being kind of like a clarinet with a double reed, a bassoon being that big tall pipe that's got the double reed in it, and in between there's English horn.
I think if I'm in a marching band, I want the smallest instrument I can, so I don't have to carry it around. No tuba. No. Something small. A little piccolo.
By the way, everyone told Sam not to sing, but Sam sung anyway.
Oh God.
That's a bad one, isn't it?
Brian, aren't you supposed to be a dad if you're going to start telling dad jokes?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, Sparky writes in, Johnny knows the tuba. Word on the street has it he played the tuba in his younger years. No, I played French horn. Never played a tuba. X64 writes in, I know nothing about marching bands or bands except that Hollaback Girl covered by a marching band is the best. And Sparky Toaster agrees to that.
I gotta listen to that one.
Sparky did not approve your Samsung joke.
Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry.
Number 2, Baby Got
I'm gonna
Back.
blame Jerry for it. I was reading through Facebook, and Jerry posted that joke. You remember Jerry, right?
You should smack Jerry for that.
What was that song about the guy that jumped in the window? You better hide. You better hide.
Jumped in the window or out the window?
Boy. Let's see. That was that Auto-Tune the News song, Bed Intruder. There was a marching band version of that. That was remember the Bed Intruder song?
No.
I do.
Terrifying moments for a woman who woke up to a strange man in bed with her. The woman screamed. Her brother rushed in to help and tried to fight the offender off. That break-in happened early this morning in the 500 block of Webster Drive in Huntsville. WFF 48's Elizabeth.
Oh, I guess this is doing the news report before it goes to the song.
Kelly Dodson was asleep with her little girl inside their apartment.
Lincoln Park, he's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.
The attacker got loose and went out the upstairs window door.
You don't have to come and people up.
Urged to call Huntsville.
Rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because they raping everybody out here. You don't have to come and confess, we're looking for you, we gon' find you.
So anyways, we're getting flagged on YouTube now, and you're not going to be able to watch the replay.
What? It's an Auto-Tune the News thingy. Did they flag you for that one?
Auto-Tune the News has representation, so they'll probably take down anyone that reposts on YouTube, even though I'm just... But the point is that
you're
I'm pretty
on Twitch,
sure...
though. You're not on YouTube. It's fine.
I remember I saw a pretty good marching band rendition of that. Let me see if I can find that now. Wouldn't it be horrible if I do all the setup and I can't find it? Oh, here it is.
Good prep. That'd be a great song.
That's great right there. Is that great or what? Marching band Bed Intruder song.
Wow.
That's funny.
That's the hottest marching band track from 2010 right there.
Heavens.
They wouldn't let us do that when I was in high school. I think if I went to Sister Dolores and said, hey, sister, think we could do a marching band rendition of the Bed Intruder song?
She would not find that funny, would she?
I don't think Sister Dolores would get it. Yeah, it's a song about this guy that broke in a window trying to rape this guy's sister, and he chased the guy out.
Yeah, I don't think that would be appropriate for
And
school.
then they made a song by auto-tuning the news report because he talked funny. Yeah, there's some things you just can't explain to nuns. But anyways, there you go. I think that's right up there in the best marching band recordings.
I don't know about that one.
You don't know about that one?
I enjoy the song. I don't know what would be wrong if I listened to it though.
I don't know. I once tried to make a marching band rendition of the $25,000 pyramid theme. I didn't.
How'd that go? Did you suggest it?
Sister Dolores said it might make good pep music at the game if I finished the arrangement, but I never completed it.
Oh, you could have pep music at the game.
We could have played the $25,000 pyramid theme as pep music, but I just was not good enough at part writing. I couldn't pull it off. Anyways, Brian here is what are you researching this?
Who, Ryan?
Yeah,
Oh, well, I was thinking of I think that we might have played in band. I was thinking Johnny Rivers, but the only thing I come up with is the Secret Agent Man song theme.
Yeah, that would be Johnny Rivers.
But I don't recall that we did that one though. He did all kinds of stuff though.
Now,
A lot of covers, blah 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 blah.
Five Hit Dune wants to know if we can call Sister Dolores.
We should call Sister Dolores. Do you have a number?
No, I don't. For some
You don't
reason,
randomly call her once a year and say hi. Remember me?
I last saw her like 5 years ago. About.
Oh, you did see her.
Well, they had a
Do you guys hang out in Good Arby's?
No, I just said hi.
You should have some cheese sticks and a beef and cheddar.
I said hi.
And a potato cake.
And then I went and I bought beer because they were selling.
Did you buy her a beer? She probably. You know what? Honestly, Sister Dolores probably really needed a beer after working there for a while.
I don't know. No.
Gator's like, no, she does not drink beer.
Well, here's the thing. They were holding a kind of a event of recognition for all her years of dedication and service because the Order of Nuns pulled out of the high school, so that basically had her ending her time running the high school's music department. So of course
the kids ran them out.
So I don't know what happened. You know, I think recruitment's at an all-time low for clergy members, so these orders are having to make decisions, and they pulled the nuns out of the high school, so I guess it's all lay teachers now, which it was mostly lay teachers when I went there. I mean, there was a few nuns in the library, and I had a few nuns for teachers like Sister
Did we get
Grace.
slapped by a nun? I have what?
They weren't allowed to hit us.
Even with a ruler?
They were not allowed to hit us. There was some that I think probably
Okay,
used
Gators. This doesn't answer my question. They weren't allowed to hit you. Did you get slapped by a nun?
I never did get slapped by a nun.
Okay. See, that's the answer.
Now, there is a legendary story about a nun. I don't think it involved her hitting someone, but there was this really old nun. I think her name was actually Sister Michelle. Everyone knew her as Sister Grendel. And it was the type of thing that people just referred to her as Sister Grendel all the time, that you could easily make the mistake of thinking that was her real name. And she was a real old nun, so Grendel could be an old-time name like Gertrude or Herman, those names.
Now, is there anything that suggests that a nun can't change her name?
Well, nuns do change their name when they when they join the order.
But can they change their name once they're in the order?
I don't think that's a thing, but I don't know the rules of that. I really don't, but I don't think that's a thing they do. I think picking your name when you join the order is the type of thing that is very personal and involves a lot of deep reflection and meaning. That's not the type of thing you necessarily need or want to change later on. So, but I don't know what the rules are governing that. But
I mean, wouldn't it be awkward if you have a convent and then another nun joins the convent, and wait a minute, Sister Dolores, that name is already taken. You got to have another name.
There's already Dolores.
You walk into any convent, half the people are named Mary, right off the bat. But that's where you start going into multiple names because
or Maria.
because nuns generally have at least two names, like Sister Dolores Margaret, Sister Mary Peter. I don't know.
So I might have told you this one before, but several years ago we went in to apply for the TSA pre. Okay, and we were like third or fourth in line, and a woman in front of us registered as Maria, and she was Mexican.
All right.
And when they called the name, they asked for Veronica. And when she stepped up and says, "Oh, I thought you were Maria," says, "Oh no, we're all named Maria." It's pretty funny.
That is, yeah. I could see that. So, anyways, the point here, and Dune points out that nuns, unlike priests, can take vows for a period of time and choose not to renew them. So nuns don't have to be lifers. I mean, apparently
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, that used to be a thing that when you're a teenager, it would be common to join the convent, take some vows, and then after a period of time decide if you're going to renew them or if you're going to, if it's not for you. Because in fact, I knew people in school. I knew someone in school that had a picture of her mother when she was a nun, and she.
Oh.
Yeah. So no, that is totally your first round of vows as a nun. Typically aren't a life thing, and then you can choose to renew them or not.
Now, is this something that was relatively recently changed? In other words, in the last 60 years or whatever?
No, I think that was pretty much always as far. I don't know, but
because my mother
in our
had
lifetime that was common. That's the
my mother had a best friend in like grade school and high school that was a Catholic. She decided to become a nun, and for the longest time, my mother thought this woman wasted her life. Honest to God. But they kept corresponding and what have you, and realized the wonderful life that she was leading, that she changed her mind on it. It's like, no.
It's not for everyone. And
yeah. And she was a lifer.
So the point I
He
was
used to
getting
call
at,
my
though,
mom a saint for dealing with me as a child. Is
So-
that close?
So there was this
Do
old,
you, but you're not Catholic though, right?
No. I'm sorry,
Anyways.
there's a what?
getting back to the story we got sidetracked from 5 times. There was an
Oh,
old
so
nun,
standard show.
Naturally.
There was an old nun, a standard show with Brian.
Yeah.
There's an old nun in our high school that was named Sister Michelle, but everyone knew her as Sister Grendel. And heck, I think I went a few years thinking her name was Sister Grendel, and that was just an old person's normal name, like of a previous generation, like Gertrude or something like that.
Eleanor.
Well, actually, people still use Eleanor. I don't know anyone that named anyone Gertrude in the past 20 years, though. But Eleanor, well, heck, Emily named her kid Eleanor. Then again,
Wasn't one of the characters that
but I guess that could be kind
what
of.
the, there was a black comedian. I think he had a alternate character that was a.
So we got sidetracked off the same part of the story. We've made no progress.
I didn't do it. I sat here.
Okay, continue.
Legend,
You know, I am the king of. Long live the king, the king of distraction.
legend has it that once a person was sent to deliver a note to Sister Michelle in classroom number, whatever the number of the room was. And this person went into the classroom and saw Sister Michelle there and completely oblivious and completely innocently said, "Oh, hi, Sister Grendel. I have a note for Sister Michelle. Do you know where she is?"
Awkward.
Legend has it that didn't go over well.
You know, she probably just rolled her eyes and said, "Oh dear goodness."
I mean, that's the ledge. I wish I had the truth on that, because that's the type of thing. Like, I don't know how Sister Michelle got the name Sister Grendel, or who gave it to her. I mean, it was just one of these things that got handed down.
Well, do you remember Schmitty that worked out of Seattle?
Yeah.
We always called him Schmitty, but not to his face.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
I did. I told him. I told him about the Schmitty name. Well, what happened is after a while, every now and then, Schmitty would send us an email that I would respond with the bunny and the pancake on its head.
Yeah, right.
And after a while, he couldn't figure out why I was doing this because I didn't include the caption. I have no idea what you're talking about. So here's a bunny with a pancake on it. I decided to do it cryptically. I'd ask for clarification, and then I included the bunny pancake picture. And so eventually he replied back and said, "What's with the bunny picture? Do you guys like have a name for me or something?" And I'm like, "We do. It's Schmitty, but it has nothing to do with the bunny." And then I sent the picture with the caption. So that's how Dale Schmidt found out that we call him Schmitty. So, which I thought was a harmless enough name to let him know.
Poor Schmitty.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had two people named
the
Dale.
funniest part of it was, I don't know how far back the Schmitty name went, because we always would call him Schmitty as long as I was working there.
Yeah, well, then I can't speak to anything further than that because you were there long before me. But I remember the first time he came to my attention was we were in one of our Monday meetings, and I guess he sent an email. We used to have dial-in lines that people could dial into the network with a dial-up modem by putting the phone number in, and I guess put their credentials in to dial in. Like that predated VPN. We had a few users that were set up with VPN access on their laptop.
Yeah.
Most users did not have VPN on their laptops, at least not in the early days, before all the buyouts and shit like that. They just would save what they needed on the. Actually, we set up their laptops with their documents folders to sync up to be an offline file on their, one of their map drives. So that's how they would work from home, not with a VPN connection, which of course was a nightmare to maintain. But that's a whole other. Point is that I didn't even know we had these dial-in lines. It was one of these things that people just stopped using over time, but no one ever turned it off. And then one day it stopped working, and we found out that the one person that was still using it was Dale Schmidt. And so I think my phone rings in the meeting. I got an email from, it's like, wait, who's using that? I'm like, Dale Schmidt. Oh, Schmitty! Oh, yeah, we'll have to check that. We'll have to test that out, see what and I don't know what the resolution of that was. I have a feeling maybe they did something easy to fix it, or maybe they determined
just pull the plug.
It's time to pull the plug. But I think they actually got it working again, because if it's an easy fix and someone's using it, why not? But I don't think it worked much longer than that, though, if I recall.
Okay, we can show you a better way.
Yeah, well, then again, I don't know what he was doing, but we didn't have him set up with VPN, so if he needed to do something more than just work on his own files that were available offline. And Schmitty was one of those guys that he worked in the Seattle office like forever. I think he was a long timer. Doing right when we had the 56 beep boop beep boop also. Because I think Schmitty was one of those people that just kept working his way up through the chains of what was available, and then he was one of those guys that kind of got sidelined with all the migrations, that it reached a point that, well, we really don't need someone at that location that does the things you do. So you could do this, or you could go away. And I don't think he liked the option they gave him for this. So I think that was how he ended up, because he worked on spreadsheets, but he also did. But then also he was our hands and eyes and ears for IT there. So then we started hearing from him all the time. Once they got rid of Maeve.
Right. Oh, the funniest thing is, there was somebody in the Seattle Washington, that was interested in bringing in this other guy, some kind of a relative or something like that. Okay. Oh yeah, send us your resume. We'll help you, tune it up, to whatever. So we got this resume. I think Marianne got the resume. Looked at the resume. It's like, this resume basically tells you you want to work for Boeing. You need to change that to make it look like you want to work for Tharco.
Why would anyone who wants to work for Boeing want to work for Tharco?
Hey, the guy needed a job.
Planes, boxes. I don't see a connection here.
It's just a job.
So you're saying they had to dumb down their resume?
Well, yeah, you could sort of put it that way. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Dune didn't understand what I said. Got rid of the maid? No, we had a IT rep that worked in the Seattle branch named Maeve, M-A-V-E.
M-A-V-E.
And apparently she was someone that they trained her up pretty good. But Dale always has a story about her because she was not Dale Schmidt, Dale the boss man. He was promoted from the Washington plant to where we worked and became the head of IT. But that promotion
Eventually.
right?
Yeah.
But in that promotion, before he came down from Seattle to our location, way before I worked there, he had to train a replacement. And apparently he didn't have a say in who they hired for the replacement. And so someone decided Maeve was going to be Dale's replacement. And so Dale has a story that he, showed, well, this is the help desk phone. When it rings, pick it up and, find out what the problem is. And, if you can't help him out, take a message, let me know. So he leaves the room. He turns around, and I guess he was back in the room or he was able to see through a window in the room. Apparently, she didn't know she's being watched. The phone rang. She got like a panic look on her face, looked at the phone. Phone rang again. She picked it up. She hung it up.
Oh.
No, she answered it.
That was a story that Dale told many times. But then he always follows up with, "We eventually trained her up pretty good." And but unfortunately, in the the recession, W's recession, we had to let go of a lot of people, and she was one of the cuts during that.
Yeah.
Bye, Maeve.
Right after I got hired.
Wow.
Boom, boom. Right after I got hired, I got to watch half the people I meet make their way for the exit week after week, and that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but they right after I got in there, they got as lean as they could. They started forcing people to use some of their time off they had accrued. It was a scary time to be a new hire. I mean, the department was lean enough they couldn't afford to lose me, but part of me was like, if it came down to it, they could have my Fong work both of our jobs and get rid of the new guy. So I was biting my nails down to stubs for a few months there. Now, Sparky wants to know if Johnny still has a landline. The last time I had a landline was in California. My landlines in California were through Comcast through their wireless modems.
Right.
So I'm trying to think. Actually, I think I technically had a AT&T traditional phone landline when I was in Oakland, because after Comcast jerked me around and couldn't get their service to work, I quit Comcast and I signed up for AT&T DSL. And then AT&T put me in a slower speed package. And when I called them up and said, hey, this is wrong, this isn't the package I was in, they said, well, that package isn't available in your area. And I'm like, well, I was in it yesterday and it was working at that speed yesterday. Put me back in that, or you can send me over to cancellations. And I followed through on the threat because they wouldn't fix it. And then I went back to Comcast. And at times, Comcast's best deal included a voice phone as part of their package deal. That was the best value discount at the time. So I had a few of those, but eventually I stopped giving that number out even because it would come and go based on what package made sense. So no, I haven't had a stable landline since Maine, really. Now Mars pointing out you can use that on a Magic Jack connection.
So when I moved to California about 22 years ago, that was Pac Bell at the time, which was later bought up by SBC. Then,
well, Brian, you've told your AT&T story like 20 times on this show. Is this the one where it sucked in your area because there are employees in your area? That was the only reason.
Yeah, exactly. But so I got two lines. One, I was going to be dedicated to the dial-up,
right,
And in the phone book, it was listed as data. And once in a while, someone would call that line and says, well, I'm going to pick this up for fun. Because the caller would call and ask for data. Yes, I'd like to speak to data, please. I'm sorry. He's busy on the computer right now, or something, something silly.
He's on the Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly.
Brian,
Yes.
you should have
The
stuck them
Enterprise
together.
D.
You should have stuck them together through ricochet modem, and then you could have had twice your bandwidth.
Well, I had a I had a data line. Well, I had my own line during the period of time after college before I moved to Maine when I moved back into the house in New Jersey. But the only reason I really got a phone line in my room, a separate line in my room, was to use it for internet for data before we signed up for cable internet. And so I put that line in, and usually it was just connected. But every now and then the phone would ring. And so one time the phone rang, and I picked it up. And basically what had happened was, this was during the period of time where debt collectors were chasing my dad because some dumbass took out a loan in his name. And this is, once again, this story is fucking ridiculous. We banked with Fleet Bank. Someone walked into a Fleet Bank that was not my dad, told them that they were my dad, gave them a social security number that was not my dad's, and they gave the dude a mortgage.
Oh, nice.
Now, mind you, they had my dad's information on file in their computer system with the correct social security number. They could have seen the discrepancy that, hey, we got two dudes here with the same name, but you don't look like you're this guy. But he falsified, could have pulled my dad's name out of a phone book, didn't even get compromised information, just name and address. Gave it to them, got a mortgage, didn't pay it. And then what the bank does is, after they get tired of trying to chase the dude because he didn't give them the right phone number, the bank just sells off the mortgage to a debt collection agency. So then they start calling. They actually go to a phone book and look up information. So they start calling and harassing my dad, and they are not friendly people. They'll get nasty with you.
Oh no, of course not.
They'll
They're out to get some money.
They treat everyone like they're a criminal and you're guilty, and they're the judge, and they've decided you're guilty.
The thing
you're
is,
a scumbag asshole that needs
what
to
happened
pay
to that
them.
house?
I don't know that part. See, that's the thing. I don't know. But they probably repossessed the house or whatever. But at that point, there's still a debt outstanding. They sold it off to a debt collection agency, and they started harassing my dad. So my dad goes to the source, goes to Fleet Bank to play a game of what in the hell with them. And of course they're like, oh, we're very sorry about that. This clearly isn't you. We can obviously see this isn't you. Don't worry about it. And then the collection agents keep harassing my dad. My dad's like, look, I went to the bank. I cleared up with them. They said it's not me. And they said, we're not the bank. That debt has been sold to us.
Yeah.
That debt is our debt, and my dad's like, well, it's not me. And they're like, well, do you have a police report? So my dad had to go clean up that mess for something he didn't do and had nothing to do with. So he had to go file a police report for this, and then he had to, contact the credit agencies, make sure that gets purged off his records there, satisfy the collection agent. But at some point, the collection agents, they will find any and every way to harass you. And that is an agency that really needs to be reined in and regulated. Because on the one hand, okay, go after the bad scumbags. But the problem is, a lot of what collection agencies are doing is not going after scumbags, but harassing perfectly innocent people through any methods they can to make your life.
Couldn't you guys just block the phone number of the people calling you?
I think Dave Ramsey is the one who recommended just having an air horn near the phone and just do it that way whenever they're calling. Of course, usually he's talking to people that really are trying to get themselves out of debt. And if it's not that collector's turn in the debt snowball, then they're going to get the air horn until it is their turn. But anyways, so the point is, at some point, my phone rings, and it's some nasty ass collection agent who said, can I speak to Frank Guitars? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I think you got the wrong number. And they're like, reading the number back to me. Is this 908 blah 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 blah? I'm like, yeah, that's the correct number. Is this the number for Jonathan Guitars? I'm like, yeah, but this ain't the number for Frank Guitars. It's like, doesn't Frank Guitars live at that address? I'm like, look, you got the wrong number. Fuck you. Click. Like they see same last name, same address. Let's harass this number now. So I just made sure to never disconnect my computer from the dial-up at that point. So, Dune writes in, couldn't your dad and some of the partners in the garbage company go visit? It wasn't that kind of company. It was just a small family business. How many times do I got to say this?
Well, my favorite thing is there's a trash company in Denver that has on their trucks satisfaction guaranteed or twice your trash back.
I love that line.
Nice.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
That is a good line.
Mine just said BFI. Mine's boring.
Yeah, that's kind of boring.
Well, it's kind of like the commercial break podcast tagline. Fact, news, or fiction in the first 15 seconds or your money back. Mind you, it's a podcast. It's free. And
right.
I'm pretty sure you're going to get fact, news, or fiction in the first 15 seconds. So they got their bases covered there. Anyways, we need to look for someone to raid.
Oh.
So let's take a look.
Yeah.
Who is live right now? Let's see. We got someone in a hot tub. We got some music channels. We got the Bard. We got the Natalie Page. Who's the Natalie Page? Well, that's gonna play an ad. Let's see.
Oh, there's two bards. One is the Graceful Bard.
Oh, Graceful Bard. I don't see
And
Graceful Bard.
Baron the Bard.
Oh, there's a Graceful Bard and Baron the Bard. Yeah, we do got two bards. We got Raquel, we got Ray Rachel, we got Sabrina Solo. No, Sabrina Solo's doing art again. We rated her doing art last week. If she were doing her one-man band type stuff, I'd rate that because Brian still has to see that sometime.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. Now, OXS4 wants to see some Twitch porn. No.
Didn't someone get banned for having porn on their channel and they were back 7 days later?
That's a typical story. OXS4 writes in small family business. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The guy's name was Art. When he introduced the cart program, we called them Art's Carts. Sparky writes in, yep, they go after relatives. Dune writes in, we have a school friend that bought debit stuff. We don't talk about it when we were together. I'm not a fan.
Oh, I see.
I guess you have to have a certain personality and mindset to go into something like that. That you feel that you're legitimately trying.
Oh, you get brought into a job and you go, well, okay, whatever. This is the job I got to do. I think MP's husband did some credit work.
Well, and there's different ways to do it in different outfits, but I can't think of any way I would ever be comfortable doing that type of work because even if you're doing only legitimate going out collecting credit that someone made a mistake and they owe this money, no matter how.
Well, let's ask another question.
Well, let me finish.
It's a little bit milder. Go ahead.
Because no matter how much you even think, well, they shouldn't have taken out the credit. That's their mistake, and they're on the hook for that. Do you really want to be that person shaking down people? I couldn't do it, but I guess there are some people that could.
Would you ever work for a credit department? Like Tharco had a credit department.
Well,
and they would call up customers that were back, behind on their payments.
I probably wouldn't work for. I probably wouldn't get into a line of work that would involve a lot of actively calling people.
Yeah, and we had this one manager that came to us from Coca-Cola, and he thought he could act like he was with a company like Coke that could just put the thumb screws on the guy because you want my product, right? Coca-Cola sells, a lot of businesses have to have them. So he could just put on the thumb screws. Well, we were a box company.
There are a lot of box
Anybody
companies.
makes a box that you don't have any leverage with that. So eventually we had to let that guy go.
Different companies require different tax. Anyways,
Exactly.
we should figure out who to raid. So any recommendations here? Because we got the bards. We got Natalie Page, who's singing right now. We got Maz, if we want some accordion. We got Sessions. We got who is Alina Luna? She's not gone. She's got like a title screen, so I guess she hasn't started her actual. Oh wait, let's see. Watch now. Yeah, it's just a starting student card, and it's a hot tub stream, so I don't even know what that is or who that is or how she got in my. I'd have to see her to remember.
I think we watched her a little bit once because I've got her on my list now.
Oh, okay. I wonder if she's one of those people that sometimes she sings and sometimes, sometimes I have people that sing in hot tubs, but she hasn't really started her stream yet. I guess we could. I don't think we've rated the Graceful Bard in a while.
Yeah, I don't really remember. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, we're gonna raid the Graceful Bard is what we're gonna do. But first, we got to open the show because we did not open up the show because it is a show your favorite.
We started early and
Insert
we ran
title
late,
here.
and we never opened the show.
And
I
now we're
knew
gonna
it.
close the show.
Ta-da!
Insert title
Closing
here.
the show.
So we do try to be educational here. Sparky Toaster has learned that Johnny did not play the tuba, even though I could swear he said he did in previous streams. No, French horn. I also learned Johnny got the latest booster. All right. Usually he learns nothing. We're improving. Brian, what have you learned this week?
That for some reason Sparky didn't count any cereal today, as far as we know. Unless he's got a count, we just haven't shared it yet.
And Mars, what have you learned?
I've learned that you segregate your cereal.
I do not.
The
I
peanut
do
butter and the
not-
chocolate should be friends. They should not be
Whoa.
separated.
Peanut butter and
Whoa.
chocolate stay together as friends. They ride with me in the front seat of the bus.
Yes, but you segregate them. You only take one or the other.
I suggested that if I wanted a bowl of peanut butter Cheerios, they used to sell just peanut butter Cheerios, and I would have to separate them in a box. And then I realized, wait a minute,
See, he segregates. Look at
not
that.
cool. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Ray, 5-hit tune.
I would
That's
if he was
funny.
live. I would if he was live.
Yeah,
I'd totally rate
go
it.
live there,
And-
Doom.
You can go live for 3 seconds. We raid you and then you leave.
I've learned Mars is the new Addy with his claims against me that are completely untrue.
You said right on the stream though. That's the problem.
I
You
didn't
said
mean
I
it
would
like
take I
that.
would take away all the
You
chocolate.
are
just
totally
eat the
being
peanut
an
butter.
Addy right now.
Am I?
No,
Wow.
Not really. There's only one.
I almost found insulting to that, but you know,
You're not really. No,
I know.
there's only one Addy.
thank goodness.
Only the real Addy has achieved the levels of
Addy.
assholishness that he. I mean, there's only one guy in our time doing these streams, and we've run across a lot of assholes in our time. There's only one that has gone on Dune's "I will never speak to you ever again. You are dead to me" list, and that is Addy, and that right there is an achievement, not one to be
Wow.
proud of either. I've come close a few times, but
That's
hanging
something
by
you
a
learned.
thread a few times there.
Gators, is that what you learned? Not to be an Addy?
I learned not to be a gator sometimes is what I learned. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and we are going to raid the Graceful Bard. And thank you so much, Sparky Toaster. That's the greatest compliment I've gotten in a long time. He was kept interested.
Wow, look at that.
I think it was that Sister Grendel story that did it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are going to
Yeah.
go ahead and we're going to raid the Graceful Bard. So thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week, and then we'll be on break. So you're not going to miss next week. Because you miss next week, you're out of luck. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
And have we raided? created.
Yeah, it's a graceful bar grade. Yeah, yeah, it's a graceful bar grade. Yeah, yeah, it's a graceful bar
That don't
grade.
look like the graceful bard.
It's a graceful bar grade. Yeah,
Well, it is.
It's a
Okay.
graceful bar grade, yeah, yeah. It's a graceful bar grade, yeah, yeah.
All right,
It's a
good
graceful
show.
bar grade, yeah, yeah. It's a graceful bar grade, yeah,